Car tester Sasha Knopp says, believe it or not, you can now get a Mercedes C-Class car as a soft-top convertible. That makes Mercedes the manufacturer with the world's largest selection of convertibles. The new C-Class convertible, the baby brother of the E and S-Class, is Mercedes' lowest price convertible. The convertible is clearly sportier than the C-Class sedan. It's a little wider and is 15 millimeters closer to the ground. A steel spring suspension is standard. The optional Airmatic pneumatic suspension costs 1,400 euros extra in Germany. It has electronically regulated shock absorbers and 4 settings from specially comfortable to especially sporty. Sasha says Mercedes spoils potential customers for choice. First, you have to decide on a convertible, and then you have to decide among 2 diesel and 5 gasoline engines that produce between 115 and 245 kilowatts. We're checking out one of the smaller engines, the C300, which produces only 180 kilowatts. With this engine, the convertible accelerates from 0 to 100 in 6.4 seconds. Top speed is electronically limited to 250 kilometers an hour. Sasha says convertibles aren't noted for their storage space, and the Mercedes C-Class is no exception. With the roof up, you have 360 liters of trunk space, down just 285 liters. So you will have space for luggage, but taking it back out is bothersome. Still, things could be worse. For example, when it starts to rain. As with the S-Class convertible, the C-Class has a fabric roof with a glass rear window. A multi-layered acoustic soft top is optional. With the roof up, the new 2-door convertible has almost the same dimensions and silhouette as the C-Class Coupé. When the rain has stopped, the fully automatic roof opens in fewer than 20 seconds, up to a speed of 50 kilometers an hour. Closing the roof takes the same amount of time. The convertible's instrument panel is identical to that in the other C-Class models. The interior's overall craftsmanship is top quality, in keeping with Mercedes standards. The back seats can be folded down individually. Mercedes sells the C-Class as a 4-seater, so it has to provide adequate space in the back seat, says Sasha. The front seat slides forward to make it easier to get in the back. The back seat is comfortable, but a big guy like Sasha could use more space on the side. The solution? He'll just have to be the driver. But there is certainly enough headroom. For 821 euros, you can get a rear wind deflector and a wind lamella on the front windshield. Mercedes says they greatly reduce air turbulence in the interior. The wind lamella isn't exactly pretty, but the main thing is that it works. Sasha says it's no surprise that the Mercedes C-Class convertible drives just as well as the Coupé or the sedan. After all, it has nearly identical technology, and that pays off. The 180 kilowatt engine is powerful enough for Sasha, who is more interested in cruising than in speeding. If you need more power, there is still another Mercedes engine and 3 more AMG models. And with them, the extra performance element is no problem.
Und dann ist Leistung auf jeden Fall nicht mehr das Problem.
For example, the AMG C63S convertible has twice as many cylinders as the four-cylinder C300 and produces 375 kilowatts, or 510 horsepower. But this AMG version also costs about 40,000 euros more than the C300. In other words, about twice as much as the lowest price C-Class convertible. Coupés have a long tradition at Audi, as was clear at the world premiere of its new premium two-door. The company displayed iconic vehicles from 70 years of coupé history in front of more than 1,000 invited guests. After that, the new second generation of the Audi A5 Coupé rolled onto Audi Piazza in Ingolstadt, company headquarters. Automotive journalist Matis Kurat notes that coupés aren't as practical as sedans, station wagons, or SUVs, but are still almost as popular as convertibles, as shown by the favorable response of the guests gathered here. More than 200,000 first-generation A5s were sold in the last 10 years. The developers have reduced the weight of the second generation by up to 60 kilograms and have made significant changes to the aerodynamics. With so many people crowding around the new coupe, this woman hasn't had a close look, but it impressed her when it drove up. This man says Audi has done a fantastic job on the touchscreen and controls. Not only the A5, but also the Audi S5 is new, says Matis, and both of them offer a lot of trunk space for a coupe. Down here, there is still a bit of space for a first aid kit. Of course, this is no car for a 4-week vacation for a family of 4, but the buyer of an Audi S5 is more interested in having a little fun on his drive home from work.
Dem Audi S5 geht's, glaube ich, auch eher darum, nach der Arbeit ein bisschen Spaß auf dem Weg nach Hause zu haben.
Contributing to that fun is the 3-liter V6 gasoline engine, which produces 260 kilowatts and 500 newton-meters of torque. Combined with the newly developed suspension, it's designed to put the S5's control and driving characteristics on the level of a sports car. Audi CEO Rupert Stadler says customers who want a sporty car want to see the powerful models. The S5 category will have a good selection of variants like its predecessor. Stadler is confident the coupe will sell well. The interior in particular has many revisions. Matis says here in the front cabin, you see the same design language as in Audi's other models. For example, the Q7, very horizontal lines, which makes the whole cockpit very wide. The digital combi instrument can be programmed in many ways to fit the driver's preferences. The operating logic has been further developed again, and this is really another step forward. Matis says he would have thought there was no room for improvement, but apparently things can always get better. The exterior hasn't changed as drastically. Here the designers could have shown a little more courage, but Audi doesn't want to frighten off its loyal customers. Rupert Stadler says it's important not to change everything. Your loyal clientele want to know that the product category will be around for a while. The new generation has plenty of state-of-the-art technology, assist systems, and connectivity systems that didn't exist in this form 5 to 8 years ago. The AS and S5 will hit the showrooms this fall. Seat has launched its first ever SUV, the Atica. Before sales even started, some 5,000 models had already been pre-ordered, a record in company history. The Atica comes with a choice of 2 gasoline and 3 diesel engines. The SUV is available with front-wheel or 4-wheel drive. In Germany, the basic model will set you back €19,990. Volkswagen has given the Up City car an overhaul. It now comes with new bumpers, a new rear diffuser, new LED daytime running headlights, and new rear lights. There are 13 different styles of paintwork to choose from and 3 different roof colors, along with a choice of 10 seat cover designs. In Germany, the new Up can be ordered from €9,850. Our car tester Andre Zimmermann says he's got a few favorite cars. Among them, the puristic Toyota GT86, the Focus RS with its drift mode, and the powerful Panamera Turbo S. But now he's added one more to his list, the Skoda Octavia RS. Andre says it has a sporty feel, lots of space, and a moderate price tag. Skoda's turned the RS into a real racer. Now the new RS 230 comes with even more power. From the outside, only minor details give away the sedan's sportiness. Like the logos on the outside, most obviously. The RS starts with a push of a button. Andre says the Octavia RS has an output of 169 kilowatts or 230 horsepower. This doesn't make it a top-notch racer, but it certainly feels like enough power. And when you step on the gas, it feels a bit like you're sitting in an office chair and someone comes running from behind and pushes you forward. Andre says it's really good fun. The price is also not bad. In Germany, the sedan will set you back 35,290 euros. For this, you get not only 7 kilowatts more power compared to the standard RS, but also an electronically controlled front axle interwheel lock that can distribute the power to each front wheel as needed. With the DSG dual-clutch transmission, the most powerful Octavia can accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 6.8 seconds. Andre would prefer to change gears manually between curves, but the DSG dual-clutch transmission also has advantages, he says. It's more comfortable when stuck in stop-and-go traffic, and it's also helpful when racing, so drivers can focus entirely on steering and don't have to think about changing gears. Andre says he's most fond of the sound the Octavia makes when changing gears at full throttle.
Aber mein Highlight am DSG, das ist das Geräusch, was der Octavia macht, wenn man unter Volllast hochschaltet.
Andre reckons the Octavia RS is like a lovable rogue. Skoda has reworked the RS 230's exhaust system. The engineers made sure that it doesn't sound deafening so that passengers won't go crazy on long journeys. After all, the Octavia RS is designed as a car for everyday use and not primarily a racer. But Andre thinks the Octavia's seats are a bit of a problem. They're too wide so that you tend to slide from side to side when you go around corners, he says. That reduces the driver's control somewhat. But the wide seats pay off on longer journeys and provide extra comfort. Now it's time to check out the rear seats. Andre is pleased that Skoda Octavia RS offers so much space in the back. He thinks he could easily spend long journeys on the back seat, even though he prefers to be in the driver's seat. Logos on the interior give away the Octavia's sporty traits. Many of its components will be familiar from other models. The driving mode control lets you adjust the steering, the DSG, and the interwheel lock. So far, you can't adjust the suspension. The Octavia has a trunk space of 590 liters. Unfortunately, not everything about the Octavia RS is perfect, says Andre. The steering gives very little feedback. But Andre doesn't mind much because the Octavia has great traction even when speeding around curves. So steering feedback isn't really that important.
Der Octavia eigentlich nie die Haftung und so vermisse ich halt auch das Feedback gar nicht.
The RS 230 is Skoda's attempt to beef up the Octavia RS using successful VW technology. But was it worth the effort? After all, the Octavia RS has already been a big success.
Bleibt natürlich die
Andre says the question remains if the RS 230 really is worth the extra 2,000 euros. That depends if drivers regularly hit the racetrack. Here, the electronically controlled front axle interwheel lock really pays off, as it provides better grip on bends. But Andre thinks for most people, the normal RS will suffice. In the last 40 years, Volkswagen has sold 30 million Golfs. Our car tester Reinhold Deisenhofer notes that taste has changed in those 4 decades. Customers want more variability. And so today, 1/4 of all VW Golfs are variants, station wagons. The compact station wagon category has stiff competitors in the Ford Focus, Skoda Octavia, Opel Astra, and Seat Leon. But the new Golf variant GTD is up to the challenge, with a more powerful engine and new design ideas. The Golf GTD variant makes no pretense of being a racy sports car that sprints fast but then fades. It's made for the long haul, balancing power and endurance. The variant is the family car for sporty drivers who want space and fuel economy. But this car is made to be fun to drive, too. Reinhold is pleased with the car's dependability and low noise level. He says the Golf is good all around with no weaknesses. The new turbocharged diesel GTD engine is powerful, but low in fuel consumption. But the company's claim of 4.4 liters per 100 kilometers is too optimistic. In practice, you'll need at least another liter.
In der Praxis ist es gut 1 Liter mehr.
The 2-liter TDI engine produces 135 kilowatts, making it the most powerful Golf turbo diesel yet. The sideways mounted engine produces 380 Newton-meters of torque and sprints to 100 kilometers an hour in 7.9 seconds. The car's exterior is sporty too. The Golf GTD variant has sill extensions and specific GTD bumpers. The appearance is rounded out with 17-inch light alloy wheels and a black roof railing. The honeycomb radiator grille is a trademark of the GTD. The rear lights are darkened, and the chrome-plated double exhaust pipes add another sporty touch. The interior, too, is oriented towards a sporty look. The steering wheel with aluminum trim is flattened at the bottom and sits well in the driver's hand. The seats are comfortable and equipped with manual lumbar support. The Golf variant GTD has impressive power and torque. Unfortunately, it's not cheap. In Germany, it starts at 32,375 euros. A lot when you consider that the basic Golf variant can be had for just under 20,000 euros. Kitzbühel in Tyrol was once again the setting for the 29th edition of Austria's famous classic car rally. 187 drivers have come with their elegant vintage automobiles to take part in the Kitzbühel Alpine Rally. An army of 28,344 horsepower has assembled at the starting line. Polished chrome and classy cars wherever you look. Former skier Hubertus von Hohenlohe is worried he might end up in the wrong place, but his skiing career means he at least knows the area.
Wir wollen eigentlich nur Spaß haben.
Nadja Kies wants to have fun and isn't looking to win, apart from the women's ranking, maybe.
Nur vielleicht.
This man plans to flog his 38 horsepower, especially up the hills, and hopes it's enough. Another man has brought a beast of a car. You can have a lot of fun with an 8-liter Bentley, he says. This exquisite number was the first Rolls-Royce to be made for the racetrack. The driver says it's the only one of its kind, around 1925 to 1926. Henry Royce was concerned that although his company was turning a huge profit, Bentley was winning all the trophies at Le Mans. So he set out to build a sports car that would crack the 100-mile-an-hour limit. And he built this Rolls-Royce Experimental 17EX, the first Rolls-Royce that met that goal. One after another, the competitors get ready for the start of the first stage. But some are still having a few technical problems. This man says he was driving a bit fast. It's an American car, so used to a more relaxed pace. There are 31 different brands of car taking part in the rally in the Kitzbühel Mountains, and the contestants themselves come from 9 different countries. They have to cover 500 kilometers over 3 days, ascending to heights of up to 1,630 meters. From brilliant sunshine to heavy rain, the weather throws everything at them. Both driver and co-driver really have to concentrate. The aim is to keep up an even tempo. It's not the fastest, but the most consistent who have the best chances of winning. A 1960 Gaz Chaika from Russia with a Fiat engine and 195 horsepower battles its way through the mountains until it grinds to a halt. It seems to have run out of steam. The BMW 326 from 1938, on the other hand, is cruising along, despite having just 50 horsepower. The narrow roads lead uphill and down dale. There are organized stops along the way, offering a chance for man and machine to take a breather. It's a dream here, he says. Fantastic panorama, great cars. It doesn't get any better.
I'm from South Dakota in the United States, and I'm participating in this rally because she made me do it. We were over here in 14 by accident, sitting at the Tiefenbrunner, having a drink, in the rain, cold, and all of the cars started coming by, and she said, you know, this looks like fun, we could do it. So I bought a car, and now we are here to do it. Actually, the highlight was also the low light. On the very steep section where we went up, we were in front of all of the cars, and coming down, we were in front of all the cars, and my brakes are the kind of brakes they put on for the United States, not made for hills like that. About almost 3/4 of the way down, I had to pull over because I had smoke coming out the back from the brakes, let them cool, and after that it was wonderful.
Many of the contestants suffer similar problems. Cars are constantly having to stop. This time, it's the 1938 BMW with the 50 horsepower. The rally is an impressive display of automotive history covering 7 decades. Magnificent models from the early 20th century mixed with elegant sports sedans and limousines from the 1950s and 60s. There are also some racy numbers and rarities from more recent times. The first day is coming to an end. After 240 kilometers, the drivers are happy to cross the finishing line with their cars intact. Every second counts. Right now, the field is wide open. Only at the end will it be clear who had the best average speed. On the last day of the Alpine Rally, contestants face the final 190 kilometers. The participants are working flat out to get ready. There are many rare vehicles on display that would normally be seen only in collections or museums. Over 30 million euros worth of cars are driving around Kitzbühel. Many would fetch 7-figure sums at auction, but most of the more exquisite models would never be put up for sale. The winner of this year's race was an old hand from Germany. We were the overall winners 2 years ago as well, he says. We're not just out for a joyride. We want to compete, and you can do that in Kitzbühel. It's great.
In Kitzbühel gegeben. Das gefällt uns sehr.